McTominay. We have to. His name has to be mentioned. Like it or not, we have to be fair. Fair is fair. Fair is fair. McTominay's name has to be mentioned. Guys, I'm always on time. So chill. Remember, we all love this post-match analysis. So I think it's time for us to really get down. The live show is cool. I like the live show because it's a nice interaction. But this is my bag. You know, this I will never ever stop with the post-match intimate one-on-one post-match analysis. So Barcelona against United mismatch. It is the greatest mismatch of one of the games. It's a much more of a greater mismatch than FC Porto Liverpool. Everyone assumed the Porto Liverpool one would be the mismatch, but I think this was the main mismatch. Barcelona are better at keeping the ball, better at utilizing the ball. United were not very good at keeping the ball. They didn't know how to really counter-attack very well. And I get that Barcelona are the superior team. It's quite embarrassing that a team can come to the crib and play like if it's their home patch. And it's very difficult, especially when you're in games that's when a team is so good at keeping the ball, both short and both long, incredibly intelligent on the ball. It's very difficult for, first of all, United to win the ball off of them, and when they have the ball with them, they just do not have the same passing skill sets that the Barcelona boys do. But I think coming into the game, everybody assumed that it was going to be a Messi lubrication. That's why I brought pizza bread, I brought Doritos, I brought a hot salsa dip, mild salsa for losers, because we all expecting a Messi lubrication. So let's do first with the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tactics and what he wanted to do. He had to really think about this very carefully. Yes, they are playing at home. And yes, they need to get G's. But Solskjaer is not an idiot. He knows that Barcelona are by far the superior side. And he knows that if United played open, full on, Martial, Lingard, and were much more attacking, they would get destroyed. They simply get destroyed, because that means you would give Messi a lot of space, and Messi giving space means that he can create, he can play make, and he can either score himself or he can provide either for Coutinho or for the cannibal. And what you saw in the game was Barcelona found it very hard to break down United, and the key glowing guy in the game is McTominay. Let's be real. He did a job on Messi. Are we now going to deny that he did a job on Messi? Or does that go against the narrative? 100% I get that. See, people have to understand, and I think a lot of people are sort of, even Barca fans were even saying on my Twitter that, oh my gosh, Barcelona, they're so used to, they're so crap, what did they do? This is 180 minutes. Don't insult Valverde yet. Last I checked, Barcelona won the game. Last I checked, United did not have a single shot on target. When you're coming into this, is why the Champions League are so interesting. When you're coming into these games, you've got to look at the bigger picture. Hence why that City game is over. There's another 90 minutes to be played. And for Valverde, the job is done. Even if they lost the game 2-1, even if they lost the game 3-1, they know that at Camp Nou we will obliterate these guys. And I think Barcelona know that they found it so easy against United at their crib. They know that at Camp Nou they will destroy them, because the difference between Barcelona and PSG is that PSG are a bunch of losers who play in a league in which they can't really be competing. So that's only a fortress. Camp Nou has been a European, not a La Liga, a European fortress for the best part of a decade. So that's a whole different ball of wax. But let's just be real. McTominay did a really good job on Messi, because what they did was, every time Messi had the ball, somebody was at least 1 or 2 inches away from him. They stopped him very tight. 2 men on him, one man on him, and they didn't allow him to move. They didn't allow him to maneuver, and they really made it hard for him to try and move around. But on a one-on-one basis, I was very impressed with how physical McTominay was with Messi, how difficult he made it for Messi, and how closely he watched Messi's feet, because Messi is a guy where you make one slip up, he will dribble past you, because his low center of gravity, how quick he is with his movements, and just how smart he is in manipulating his body in the ball. There were times when Messi got that ass. He did get that ass, because it's always will. Over 90 minutes, Messi will dribble you at least 1 or 2 times, because he's that good. But most of the times, he obliterates you for the best part of 90 minutes, and he makes you look like a fool. He did make McTominay look like a fool, and McTominay, I thought that was one of the glowing pieces in it for United. And I think United, the issue with United is that, yes, defensively, cool, all good. You could have considered more, but it's cool. You have to have an offensive plan. And I get not playing Lingard, Martial, and Rashford maybe to attacking. Starting Lukaku was a bad move. I thought that he should have had Rashford as a striker, and then he should have had Lingard as the attacking midfielder to combine. I think Lingard was missing at the start of the game. But for Barcelona, I was very impressed with Arthur. Arthur is quickly becoming the Xavi replacement. Nobody will be like Xavi. Best ball retainer. But what I like for Arthur is just his... what I was telling you for central midfielders, and even me playing central midfield when I was in school, never be on your heels. Always be on your tiptoes. And that's what I really like about what Arthur does. Every time he has the ball, he's always on his tiptoes. Boom, shot, ball, give it to me, once, boom. And he's keeping the ball moving, and he's aware of when the ball needs to go wide. He's aware that, okay, the ball isn't there wide. I can keep the ball, play shots, give it back to me, hold the ball a bit, look up, okay, it's not there, shot, ball, move forward. The white ball is there, open my body, hit it. And you need that, because whenever you're trying to keep the ball or put pressure on the team, you need, I call it the sponge. I call it the sponge in the team, and the sponge is whichever position you're in, you know that you can give the ball back to that midfielder and he will not lose the ball. So if you're in trouble, 3-4 guys, there is no opening here. Arthur, hit it. Boom, give it back to me. But after it, and you know that he'll keep it, pop off, keep it, pop off, keep it, pop off. And that is a very important thing in maintaining a psychological control. Because even to what I said in my preview, what Barcelona were doing for United was psychological warfare. They were wearing them down mentally. And Valverde, people also know that he's got a plan. This is a bigger plan. And for Valverde, this is great. They won the game. They didn't concede a goal. And now they know that when they go to the Camp Nou, they can open it up. He may eat people. He may be racist. But this is what this guy does. And it's what Aguero was unable to do. Goal needs to happen. Very difficult game for Barcelona. See, not difficult in the sense of controlling the game, difficult in creating clear-cut chances, because United were extremely defensive. United, they didn't care about keeping the ball, but they're like, my gosh, thou shalt not pass. Well, thou did pass. But I think ball over the top, cannibal, good, that's why it was good timing, good run, headed the ball down, boom. And I think he should have scored another one in a second goal in the second half. Obviously, people will look at the Smalling challenge on Messi. Did it affect him? Slightly. It could have affected him. It could have winded him. But I think overall, Barcelona didn't get into third gear. Maybe they were in second gear and they knew that, look, this is actually quite easy. We are by so far the superior team, and these guys are not doing anything against us. And you say to yourself that for Soch, and I'm going to give a shout out for Pique, man. Pique is a guy who I call this guy a brick. I named him a classy brick. I say this guy's crap. He has slowly ironed away the mistakes, and he's going back to that 2010, 2012 Pique, where his reading of the game is on point. He is snuffing out danger, and he is gaining much better composure, where he's far more aware. He doesn't lose concentration. And again, it's like he's now having several games in which he's not making any mistakes. It's serene, it's composed, and he's now acting as the leader of the defense. Because for so long, Lenglet and Umtiti were looking to you to be the leader. You're the most experienced dude. But what are you doing? But now he's saying, you know what? Chill, relax. I'm the leader of this team. What up, baby? So Pique definitely for form. This is why I put that out there online. We've got to talk about Pique as one of the best, most informed central defenders out there. We have to have the discussion. We have got to have the debate and discussion. He's one of the most informed central defenders out there. So for United and for Solskjaer, what could they have done differently? Did Solskjaer mess up the tactics? It's like, for me, it doesn't matter what opposition you're playing. You cannot, after 90 minutes at the crib, if it's away from home, cool. You can't, there is no excuse for after 90 minutes at the crib not having a single shot on target. That's inexcusable. That's inexcusable. Yes, United, you're playing against a superior team. You're still Manchester United. You're not Scunthorpe. If it's Scunthorpe, I don't expect Scunthorpe to even sniff the last dead. Pogba, Martial, Lingard, Rashford, Lukaku. There are guys there who know how to play football and have ability on the ball. But I just saw for Solskjaer, Lingard should have started. Lukaku didn't work. I think in this game you needed speed. You needed more speed and needed speed and swiftness. Maybe Lukaku can be mobile, but swiftness. And I think in Lingard, especially in Lingard and Rashford, that's nice speed, direct swiftness that I think would have caused Pique, made Pique think a bit more about what he needs to do with regards to defending him and Longley. But again, in the game, they didn't really have to push them. So and also very briefly, you see how difficult it is for Pogba now, because Arthur can pass to Busquets, Rakitic, and there were times when these guys were just doing one touch and just doing easy triangles through them. You can't do triangles with Man United. I almost forgot. I'll get to them afterwards. You now see how difficult it is for Pogba. This isn't copying play or making excuses, because people say, "Oh, no, Pogba, he cannot time excuses. He's going to get it done. If you can't pass to another man who can keep the ball, do something interesting within the ball, so much is relied upon you, and it doesn't make any sense for a central midfielder to literally engineer the game all by himself. The way a central midfielder works is that he needs cohorts. He needs other guys to be on the same level with him. If you put Xavi, Zidane, or Pirlo next to Matic, Herrera, Fred, and so forth, they won't look as good as you think they will. Because as great as Pirlo, Xavi, and people were, they were surrounded by Seedorf, by Iniesta, by Busquets, and so forth. Quality players. So let's just keep it all the way a stack. Ashley Young. Guys, I told you Ashley Young has been a brick for a long time. He's been on the brick radar for a long time. Look at the academy. I think he's class A or class B right now. There is a real problem if the captain of your team is your worst player. That's an issue. The captain of your team can't be a brick. I don't know whether there's a top tier team where the captain of the team is a brick. Not only a brick, arguably the biggest brick on the team. Like, thinking about it, a strong argument can be made that Ashley Young is Man United's worst. As far an argument can be made that he's United's worst player. I can't think of a player that United have. Lukaku is better than Young, Herrera is better, Matic is better, Fred is better. I can't think of a player that's worse than Ashley Young. So the captain of your team is the worst player in the team. See, that doesn't make any sense. I think for Solskjaer, he's going to look at that and say, you know what? Just for the psychology and the mental boost for this team, Ashley Young, you're a good servant and everything. I'm going to take that armband from you. And I think that armband should, you know what? That armband, I would argue, either give it to Labille or you give it to De Gea. Labille, because I just think that he's the most respected and the most liked within the team. De Gea, he is the most consistent performer in the team. So those are the captains you choose. The two captains you choose is either your best player, your most consistent performer, or the leader in the dressing room, the person that everybody just respects and responds to. Those are the two players that you choose as captains. You don't choose your worst player as the captain. You don't. Even if your worst player is the most respected, you don't choose your worst player as the captain. No, it doesn't happen. So that's why someone like a Bart Simpson, who may not be the most dynamic player, but because he was so stupidly consistent, never even sniffed below an 8 out of 10 in every game, that other players were like, if this is the captain and he's setting this example, we have to follow this lead, because this guy never goes below an 8. This guy is always giving us high quality in every game. If I'm looking at my captain and my captain is giving me 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, 1s, 0s, 1s, 2s, 5s, 6, 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, then it's like, how does that exude any confidence? So, all in all, United still have a chance of knocking down Barcelona, and if they do, Messi retires. But can lightning strike twice? I doubt it. I think that Messi, you said you were going to lubricate. I think Messi, you owe me a baptism on Tuesday. Thanks for watching the video. Now think about becoming a Football Hot patron by pledging an amount each month, and then gain access to exclusive content only on the Football Hot Patreon page. Peace. head over to the official site at harfordfootballhot.com or just click over here.